everyone. Welcome to Your Virtual Coffee, the web show which introduces you to great local businesses in the Denver metro area. My guest today is the wonderful Marie Zecca. She's the Director of Strategy for Blaze Marketing. Marie has been in the marketing field for over 10 years. With a strong capacity for understanding the different components of the marketing cycle and how they interact, through her leadership, companies have refined their brands, reduced sales cycles, and increased their ROI in marketing initiatives. A New Jersey native, Marie started Blaze Marketing in Hoboken, New Jersey in 2017. We will have to have a chat about the famous person who came from Hoboken as well. Aside from leading the Blaze Marketing team, Marie is an avid supporter of growing the sport of lacrosse and does so through her participation in the sport as a lacrosse official, elites team coach, and board member of the Colorado Women's Lacrosse Officials Association. When she is not working, she enjoys spending time with her close-knit family in New Jersey and seeking new adventures. And with that, Marie, welcome to my show.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for the introduction.
So let's just jump right in. So Marie, why the move to Denver?
So moving to Denver, there was one of my largest clients were expanding into the Denver metro area. And at the time, since my staff all works remotely, and I also work remotely most of the time, it made sense to make the change and move. I also had a few staff that already lived in the Denver area. And it seems that there's a lot of inspiration that comes with Denver with the mountains and the activities. And although we're heavily based in strategy, sometimes on the strategy side, you do have to get creative. And you want creative people that are constantly inspired working for you and for your clients on the different projects. So that's what really inspired the move to Denver. And I'm really glad I've made that move because it seems that there is constant inspiration and there is a lot of passion that exists in Denver for marketing, for the work that they do. People take great pride in it. So I'm glad that I have made that move. We still do exist heavily in the New York and New Jersey area also, since that is where Blaze Marketing started. About half of our client base still exists there, and we still pick up a lot of clients that do stay there. The other reason we moved to Denver is because it's a more centralized location. So we do have clients that are located in California, Florida, in different areas. So if we need to go to them to have meetings, it just makes a lot more sense to be more in the middle of the country than to be on just one coast.
Now, as I mentioned in your intro, there's actually a very famous person, from my understanding, who was from Hoboken. Isn't Frank Sinatra originally from there?
He is. A funny story about that, actually. My last apartment in Hoboken, New Jersey, was right across the street from where he was born. So there used to be a giant star that was on the sidewalk that said Frank Sinatra. And I believe it was the frame of the house, a brick frame. Since I've moved, though, there is a new building that has gone up there. And it is a beautiful building. And it's very Frank Sinatra inspired. So there's actually, last I went back to visit, there was a red rope that looks like it was from like a red carpet event that was outside with an ode to Frank Sinatra outside the building. So I was a little upset when the star was gone, but I think that they did a good job in replacing it. So
I love that. I'm going to have to go to Hoboken just to see that. Marie, you have a John Quincy Adams quote on your LinkedIn profile. Would you talk about that?
Sure. So that quote, I feel, really sums up what you want in a leader, or just what everyone should strive for in how they interact with others. So I as you mentioned earlier, I am a lacrosse coach. I take great pride in managing teams, whether that's in the working world or on the lacrosse field. Um, I find that the best leaders and the best coaches come with making people part of the solution or interacting with you as you grow, and you give them different tips to move forward. And through that, you should try to inspire people. You should try to foster their education or learning of a new skill. You should try to encourage them to do more and to become more of themselves. So ask for more, strive for more, and be content with who they are in general. So I feel like that quote encompasses all of those things. And I think it's short, sweet, and to the point. So that's why that's on my LinkedIn.
Marie, being a new business owner, what about marketing inspires you to keep going?
I think what inspires me the most about running a new business and also helping my clients with theirs is that it's a great feeling knowing that you're helping another company or someone else accomplish their dream. So, what keeps me going is seeing my clients happy and seeing them reaching the goals that they aspire to reach through whatever endeavor it is that runs their business, whether that's services, whether that's products, um, whether that's consulting, all different types of businesses. It's really nice seeing how people can really grow and how they use marketing uniquely for their business, and seeing the return that they receive from having a good marketing cycle in place really inspires me to keep going. Sometimes on days where I'm like, well, what is the purpose of this? I'm like, well, I'm helping other people reach their goals. So that's really what inspires me to keep going. And yeah, I really enjoy what I do.
So, speaking of helping those clients reach their goals, what's an issue that would keep that client up at night? And how does Blaze Marketing solve that issue?
So it's funny that you asked that question specifically. I had a client last week come up to me um, and say, I need your help. And I was like, oh, what do you need my help with? And they're like, marketing's been keeping me up at night. Can you help me? And I was like, sure. And I thought it was actually really funny because I've heard you ask that question of me before. And that was the first time someone has actually said those words to me. I think the reason why marketing is so difficult for so many businesses is because there's so many components that go into it. And to really understand how marketing is going to help drive your operational goals and deliver ROI, you have to understand each component of this marketing life cycle and how it's working for you or sometimes against you. And that's a lot of what we do here. So we'll really dissect a company's marketing life cycle and see what components are there that are working really well and which ones are missing that they might need to capitalize on, or might be the missing part that's keeping them from driving forward to gain more leads or to retain more customers.
Let's talk about power partners. And for our audience, power partners are those businesses who target your same ideal client but are not your competition. One example I like to give is a hairstylist and a personal trainer. Those two target that ideal client of someone who wants to look good, whether it's improving their appearance or maintaining what the work they've already done. They still want to look good. So, with that being said, let's get an understanding of Blaze Marketing's ideal client. So, who is your ideal client, Marie?
So my ideal client does span across industries. But they would fall under the category of looking to grow, um, interested with a strong belief in marketing. And a lot of our clients and the ones that we enjoy most taking on do have a sales-based organization, and they're in the B2B space. So a lot of our clients, actually all of our clients, we start with a strategy, and we look at what their marketing strategy has been, if they have one already. And if they don't, we start to look at the other components of their business. So operations, financials, HR, and we see what's established and working really well, and how we can use marketing to really complement that, to communicate messaging to their ideal clients and their ideal partners. So that way they can start to grow their business, increase leads, and hopefully close some of those leads also. So we have a lot of different goals. We do that in a lot of different ways. We'll use email marketing, we'll use SEO, website development, advertising, PR, events. There's a lot of different things that go into what we do, but it really starts with strategy. And our ideal client is one that really needs help on that component. So what's working and what's not, and how we can make everything work together.
So I'm thinking, and you talked about a business that wants to grow.
Right.
And I'm thinking, who else would want that business owner who wants to grow? Anyone maybe in the HR or professional employment organization space? Would that be a good referral partner for you?
It could be. It depends on who their clients are. So if they are a headhunter or a recruiter in the B2B space, and there has been times we've worked with recruiters, but often what they're trying to do is hire someone internally for that company. What Blaze Marketing really does is we remove the reason for them to hire someone internally, although we do help them at times hire lower level marketing associates. But that's for organizations that are looking to hire someone from the bottom and help them grow into a management role or into a director role down the road. So usually our clients outsource most of their marketing to us, and we handle everything from there. We act as their marketing director for their company, and then supplement their staff internally with our staff to help them grow and work on the different initiatives that we're putting in place for them. So we have worked with recruiters before, but their bread and butter seems to be hiring someone specific. And what we really do is staff augmentation. So that would really remove the need for the recruiter if that company was to hire us. But when we have worked with recruiters, we've still run the same type of deal where if our agency comes through and they decide to work with us, then we still give the recruiter a referral and referral bonus from our end. So,
Well, I'm also thinking those PEO or professional employment organizations, they kind of take on the HR, the payroll, the things that maybe a growing office maybe doesn't have someone to handle or have a group that can handle that. So I was thinking, if they're growing, they're hiring employees. So that's good news for you as a marketer because they're a growing company. That's good news for a PEO company because they need someone to help them manage their employees, and they provide other things like employment manuals and things like that. And so I think that might be a pretty good power partner for you. I'm not sure how much into the recruiting that type of organization does, although I know definitely like staffing companies, recruiting companies, you're absolutely right. I'm also thinking those IT managed service providers, because if you're a growing company, you need workstations. And again, growing company means they need to invest in their marketing, like you were saying. So those people who are in cybersecurity, people who help with those, whether you set up, your cloud-based services and all of those things, so that a company that's growing doesn't experience those growing pains through technology. Just like hopefully they hire Blaze Marketing so they don't experience those growing pains because of a marketing deficiency.
So you're completely correct in a power partner for us would be IT companies. So IT companies definitely supplement our clients, and our services that we provide also supplement the services of an IT company, but they don't compete. So
Right.
that's super helpful. We have partnered with a couple IT companies. One in the Denver area is actually Team Logic IT, with Tim and Claudia Pillow at the head, and they've been excellent. We've discussed and learned a lot about each other's business, and how we can actually help each other and help our client base also grow. So there's a lot of strategy that's needed from a lot of their clients on the marketing side, and especially with a lot of things going more remotely now and a more flexible at-home work style that a lot of corporations are starting to finally take on. There's a heavy presence in IT, and for the need to actually take employees that are used to working from an office, like in a large corporate setting, and move them home. So they need to have a secure way to access servers. They need a secure way to access emails. They need to be more aware of hackers and viruses and all of those other things, because they no longer have the IT department in another room that they can just walk down the hall and say, hey, listen, this is happening with my computer. I don't know what's going on. So there's a need for education for IT in the corporate workspace as a whole. And with that, there's also a really strong need for a lot of companies to also change up their marketing strategy to more digitally based strategy that can actually reach their potential customers. So with Team Logic IT and Blaze Marketing, there's been a lot of referrals back and forth where we're able to actually work together on the same clients, but through different departments and different areas. So it's been really exciting. It's been a lot of fun. That's just one example. Other power partners that you might be surprised to hear that we always partner with most of the time is actually other marketing companies. And the reason for that being is that every single marketing company has a specialty. There's something that is really, really strong that they have as part of their wheelhouse in their services. So often with marketing companies, they recognize what their strongest points are, and then they rely on specialists in other fields to help them achieve a higher quality of work for their client when it's needed. So often I get a lot of referrals from other marketing companies, and those companies could specialize in one thing like social media or PR or events, and they need a strategist to come in, or they need email marketing, or they need SEO or PPC, or one of the services that we're really strong at and provide for our clients. So that way they can concentrate on what they are really good at, and we can handle the things that we're really good at. And then we work together as a team. So that often happens also.
And you expressing it like that is interesting, because it's like how law firms work with practice areas. You have Sam, for example, is a litigator. And so he handles going to court, versus some attorneys are business attorneys. They handle business formation and agreements and stuff, but they don't do litigation. And so that's something, that how law firms work. I was very excited to hear you mention Claudia from Team Logic IT, because she has been on this show. And so viewers, if you're out there, you can go look at I believe it's episode 4, which is Claudia Pillow, who's the owner of Team Logic IT, if you have any questions about what they offer. But Marie, after people have watched this episode and are like, but I need more information, what is the best way for that business owner to reach out to you?
The best way for them to reach us is by email or filling out our contact form on our website, thinkblazemarketing.com. They could also reach out to me via LinkedIn, Marie Zecca, and you'll know it's me because I think I might be the only Marie Zecca in the United States. And then you'll also see Blaze Marketing on my profile. So those are two ways that they can reach out to us. And then we can take care of what they need, have a quick call, understand what they're looking for, whether that's a new website, whether that's strategy, whether that's advertising. It falls into all different categories every time we talk to someone new. And we can have a discussion and go from there.
Perfect. Any last thoughts?
No, thank you so much for having me on the show. It's been a pleasure. And I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you too. And we are going to include information at the end of this that has all the information you just gave, your contact information, who your ideal client is, and who those power partners are. So if any of you watching fall into any of those categories, reach out to Marie so you guys can get it done. Marie, thank you for joining us today on Your Virtual Coffee. Audience, thank you for joining us today. We couldn't do this show without you. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Your Virtual Coffee. We love business owners. So entrepreneurs, let's talk. Your Virtual Coffee is sponsored by Ventola Law. Ventola Law, mediation and legal representation at an expert level. You can find them at ventolalaw.com. Thanks for joining me today. For more information on Your Virtual Coffee, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and wait for it, our website at yourvirtualcoffee.com. Thanks again for watching and have an incredible day.